He doesn't play it that often, but when he does, he pops off. Everyone remembers that 2023 Worlds as he's going in here.
Yeah, looking for an angle, but kanavi's going to make his way over. The Q going to get flashed. zeka, gets flashed up by kanavi. First blood goes over to Zeka. And HLE, once again, a great start here, but we'll see whether they can keep it up as this game goes.
Faker a little greedy there, was just not aware of where kanavi was. Oner going to try to make something happen here with keria, though.
Yeah, actually flashing forward, the heroic charge, wanting to find Elise in, and he'll get there. Oner is able to return the favor pretty immediately as Faker turns back up.
As Oner is going to come up here and punish. There is an ult here for Zeus, but that's not necessarily going to be enough to save you. He might have to flash early, see if Oner can get the jump on him. Oner is flashless, so Zeus might just have enough distance here.
Yeah, Zeus going to be able to flash out. Maybe there is the shock blast to take him down. And even if has evolved into something that's not quite 1v1 between AD carry, it's more like a mid laner and an AD carry.
Zeka still gone unpunished, as speaking of punishing.
Oh, there's the taunt. No steadfast presence to come down as kanavi. Let's see whether he can actually lock this Q onto keria. Was looking for a bit of an angle, but there's the boot back. The kick to make sure that Doran is the target. TP showing up a little bit late, though, and now Delight is in a lot of trouble. He flashes, he picks up the taunt, and Doran is going to be taken out. Delight now in the alcove, but oner is going to show up, and peyz is just dead. That teleport was not what he wanted, and the demonic ascension here for the Swain is working out. Oner goes in, gets the execution, and Faker seeing whether he can do the same thing. It's the perfect version as he takes out kanavi. But Zeus, he'll have the help of this Syndra to see whether he can lock down Faker, and I have a feeling he will be able to do so. The Nevermove misses though, and Faker just walks it off. As you guys get yourself some space to get into this river.
No Weaver's Ball for peyz, so he's not going to be able to do any zoning here in this fight, with the exception, of course, of his Unraveled Earth. I suppose you could slightly zone with that, but no obvious play here for T1 to actually start this dragon up. May look for a contest, but it will be late here as Faker does not have access to the pit. Zeka, who has a massive lead and a first item spike here, is just denying the Akali entry, and I think T1 are likely going to have to give this up. Best case scenario, maybe look for a steal. Faker is completely on vision as well.
They're going to get spotted out, because now the teleport is going to bring Zeus in. There's the taunt safety for gumayusi as well. There is the Crescent Guard. That's going to keep oner alive for a little bit longer, but they're trading blows back and forth. Faker looking a little bit low, a little bit worse for wear. He's going to be able to shut down Delight though as he picks up the double, but then the fourth bullet from gumayusi is going to silence him.
And
did bring peyz on over. I think the flash was a good idea. Let's see whether Faker can keep himself alive here as well. Dash cannon to get himself out of the way, and Scat of the Week will land. Dodge this, says Zeka, and they will be able to take down the...
so much. They lost a huge wave that went to oner in the mid lane, and then he wasn't there to defend bottom side. Now they're going for part 2.
Yeah, the problem was that the ulti then came back up, but it was not enough to keep this Swain alive, and now Zeka teleporting in is somewhat dangerous. Deadly Flourish is going to go wide, but the curtains now coming on out. They can just leave, and gumayusi doesn't find any value out of that ultimate. And it's almost a 40 CS lead on this Syndra. Blackfire Torch now done as kanavi wrapping around. Steadfast Presence doing exactly what it's here for, to deny kanavi a way in, and now Doran is flanking his way over. The Q going to connect as the flash away from keria gets him out. As Delight is just dead! There is the boot back onto kanavi as gumayusi is the next one in trouble, and kanavi's going to try to keep him alive. Decides instead that he's just going to have to get out of there as Doran gets on in, presses W, takes him down, and now peyz is going to find all of these angles for the rest of HLE. Zeka will stay alive, but the rest of his teammates not so lucky.
Has no mobility, just cannot do anything, and kanavi is not able to peel for him, as now you do see Delight once again, the target.
Yep, Shadow Dash not going to be used there because the rocks go down, the Steadfast Presence was threatened. I mean, this Lee Sin and the Shen have 50%. HLE still with some fight in them, but T1 finding so many great angles. Now another curtain call does come in. Seismic Shove to try and remove Zeus from the equation in this mid lane. And kanavi going to be able to kick oner away, but he keeps himself alive. Doran, not so much, as a shutdown goes to his opposite number, as Zeus is going to be able to close that massive gold gap just a little, and they'll take a turret.
They're trying to get this inner, and they have a big wave here, but I think this is going to be the end of the pressure. Zeka says otherwise. Keria, look for the punish.
Yes, going to be able to get that heroic charge back. Zeka just a little too far up, and now Doran is going to pay some attention here as well. The taunt, fantastic here from Delight, as they look to get on top of peyz. They get rid of him. The flashes get them out of there, as the keeper's verdict just kind of helps to get them to safety. Refreshing to see Zeka continue to expand that champion pool over and over again.
He just looks really good on this pick right now.
Ooh, okay. T1 actually going to try and force this one. peyz gets right into the back line. Not sure about that one, but they just eviscerate kanavi, and immediately the Swain is out of there. We mentioned it before. He is going to be able to come back in, but can they actually do enough? That is going to be the question, as Zeus is just so difficult to kill. oner gets into the back line, though, and takes out Delight, and they're just distracting this Swain over and over again. Doran picks off the carries one by one, and yeah, Zeus now completely alone. He'll be taken out, and it's just surgical here by T1 in the team fight.
And that'll be
you can see, I mean, Tom and Easy were still a little bit stressed. We're going to have a look at this fight as well. The fling back onto Zeus. He is going to get taken out. There's a lot of damage done, though, as Doran was traded as well. Scat of the Week avoided by peyz. gumayusi is there with a fair bit of damage, has a full health bar as well. Still alive here at EWC for 2026. But see who is going to be joining them from Korea, whether it is going to be T1 or HLE, is T1 right now in a great position, but there's the kickback from kanavi. Perfect execution does come on out, and kanavi straight back in there, gets the shutdown on to the Akali, and Delight comes on over to try and make this one more difficult as well. oner is going to be able to take down kanavi, though Delight not going to be able to fight him. gumayusi comes on over. The Deadly Flourish is good, but oner is better, managing to take down the Shen. Curtains now getting cold. peyz so much damage, but he dances out of the way. oner gets on in there, and there's the shutdown for gumayusi. Vision of Empire comes in. peyz, the Deadly Flourish does not get the stun, but
oner
he's still
on that dragon. Well, he's actually backed away. They're going to rush over and look for a direct contest. This could be the end of the game if HLE get routed.
Yeah,
Topside push is huge.
In. Half the health bar now, but here is the turn. Looking for the angle towards Faker. There is the kickback onto oner comes in. There's a nice stun off to the other side, but Doran just decides to jump in on top of gumayusi. He gets the barrier. He gets himself out. The keeper's verdict once again as the Deadly Flourish comes down, and all of the GAs are being destroyed. Zeus, not so demonic this time, as peyz is able to put him down, and T1, they may have not been able to do it at the road road to MSI, but it is not that anymore. This is EWC, and they want to stay alive at the tournament. They'll take out the MSI champs as they move into the base.
Yeah, pushing forward now. The wave was cleared in the top side, but another one is coming. The mid lane push is coming. Guma with a feeble attempt here to slow the onslaught of his former team, but HLE are going to go down, and it looks like they're going to go down here and now. Zeka with a heroic attempt as well.
Yeah, peyz taking a fair bit of damage here, but gumayusi just gets piled in on. There is Delight falling down, and Zeka, the last man standing, tries to get the scat of the week, but there are no weaknesses here on T1 today. There goes the Nexus, and they'll be moving on to the semifinals.
T1 with a statement 2-0 tonight against rivals Hanwha Life Esports. What a game, a tough oner across both games, just would not be shut down. peyz plays 80 carry, but he plays mage in game 2, pulls out the Talia. Keria's got that classic poppy, and the flex picks here came in bigger for T1 in this pivotal series. One of the toughest for them to win on their road to lifting a second Esports World Cup title.
So, yeah, we're crushing.
I mean, this is pretty cold what we're about to do. We talk about keys getting crushed at EWC. They don't get much bigger than this. Doran, we're going to leave you in the hands of our key master here as you have the honors of crushing this key. peyz, are we ready? From lifting the MSI trophy just days ago to witnessing the EWC key crushed in Paris. HLE's pursuit of back-to-back international trophies is over. T1 march on.